Hello, everyone. My name is Sophia, and I'm 42 years old. I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood with my husband James and my stepson Liam. Life here is mostly peaceful, but I often feel a profound sense of loneliness in my marriage. James, my husband, is a corporate attorney, and his job demands much of his time and focus. He is constantly busy with back-to-back meetings, late nights at the office, and endless deadlines that never seem to relent. As much as I understand the pressures and responsibilities that come with his career, it leaves little time for us as a couple. And sometimes I feel like a mere spectator in my own life. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so I can continue bringing you more fascinating true stories like this one. And don't forget to watch this video till the end, because this story is going to be incredibly interesting. There was once a time when James and I were deeply connected, sharing laughter, dreams, and intimate moments. We built a life together filled with love and companionship. But somewhere along the way, the spark faded. Our nights grew colder and quieter, filled with silence, rather than the warm conversations we once enjoyed. I often lie awake, staring at the ceiling, reflecting on what went wrong. Despite everything, I found myself longing for a warmth that I couldn't seem to find in our relationship anymore. Before starting the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more captivating tales that explore the depths of human emotions and relationships. A few days later, while my husband James was out for another late-night meeting, I found myself once again alone at home. The house felt eerily quiet. The stillness was almost palpable, and my thoughts consumed me as I reflected on the electrifying encounter I had with my stepson, Liam, not long ago. It was a moment that had awakened feelings I had buried deep within me for far too long. I had missed the thrill of being desired, of feeling truly alive in a way that had long been absent from my life. In a desperate attempt to ease the tension that had been building within me, I decided to take a long, relaxing bath. I filled the tub with warm water and lit a few scented candles, allowing the soft glow and fragrant steam to envelop me, creating an atmosphere of tranquility. The soothing warmth of the water caressed my skin as I sank into the tub, my body relaxing into the comforting embrace of the warm water. Yet my mind drifted back to Liam. The way his hands had explored my body, the passion in his kisses, the way he made me feel so alive, so desired. It was intoxicating, and the memory sent a rush of heat coursing through me. I closed my eyes, imagining his touch and the desire that had sparked between us. The warmth of the water mixed with the warmth in my core as I recalled the way he had looked at me. His gaze filled with longing and something deeper. A part of me was terrified, but another part craved that thrill, that connection. I was drawn to him like a moth to a flame, and I couldn't shake the feelings that had begun to awaken inside me. Suddenly, I heard a soft knock at the bathroom door, and my heart raced as I quickly sat up, water sloshing around me. "Who is it?" I called, trying to sound nonchalant, but I could hear the tremor in my voice. "It's me, Liam," he replied, his voice smooth and inviting. I felt a thrill run through me at the sound of his voice, my pulse quickening. "What do you want?" I asked, keeping my tone light, despite the excitement bubbling within me. "I wanted to check on you. You've been in here a while," he said, and I could hear the concern mixed with something else, something that made my heart race even faster. I took a moment to compose myself, trying to push the feelings aside, but the anticipation was electric. "I'm fine, just taking a bath," I replied. my cheeks flushing at the thought of him standing outside the door. There was a moment of silence before he spoke again. "Can I come in? I just want to see you." My heart skipped a beat as I realized he was standing outside the door, and I felt an urge to let him in. Before I could respond, he opened the door, stepping inside with a confident stride. My breath caught in my throat as I took in his appearance. His tousled hair, the fitted t-shirt clinging to his chest, and those piercing blue eyes that seemed to see right through me, making me feel exposed in a way I had never anticipated. "I thought you might want some company," he said, his gaze drifting to the candles flickering around the room. I was taken aback by his boldness, feeling the air thicken with tension. "I don't know if that's a good idea," I stammered, my heart racing as I tried to sound composed, though every part of me wanted to draw him closer. "Come on, we're alone. Just for a little while," he urged, taking a step closer. I could feel the heat radiating from him, and the tension in the air thickened, igniting something deep within me. The longing that had built up within me over the past few days flared back to life, and I felt an uncontrollable desire to be near him. I could already feel the weight of his desire, and it made my pulse quicken. "Okay," I finally whispered, surprising myself with my own boldness. "But just for a little while." As he stepped closer, I could see the way his gaze drifted down to the water. "I can't help but wonder what it would feel like to join you in there," he said, his voice low and teasing, sending shivers down my spine. I swallowed hard, my heart pounding as I imagined just that. "What if James comes home?" I asked, trying to sound practical, but secretly wanting him to disregard my concern. "Then we'll just have to be quiet," he suggested, his smirk widening as he leaned even closer. The warmth of his body radiated against my skin. Before I could respond, he reached out, his fingers grazing my arm, igniting a fire within me. "Please just let me in," he said, his voice laced with longing that echoed in my heart. I hesitated, caught between the thrill of desire and the weight of my conscience. But the thrill of his touch was too much to resist. "Fine," I murmured, my voice shaky, but just for a moment. Without another word, Liam stood up, shedding his t-shirt and stepping into the tub beside me. The warm water swirled around us as our bodies drew closer, and the intimate setting heightened the electricity in the air. I felt the world outside fade away as we locked gazes, the water splashing around us, his body inches from mine. "This feels nice," he said softly, his fingers brushing against my thigh, igniting a fire within me that I had long thought extinguished. "It does," I replied, my breath hitching as he moved closer, our bodies now mere inches apart. In that moment, the tension broke, and he leaned in, capturing my lips with his. The kiss was soft at first, a gentle exploration of unspoken desire, but it quickly deepened as passion surged between us. My hands found their way to his shoulders, pulling him closer as I melted against him, feeling the warmth of the water envelop us. Our kisses became more urgent, a dance of longing and desire that felt like a release from the loneliness I had been feeling for so long. I could feel his hands roaming over my back, then my chest, and he pressed my chest and started kissing there, igniting sensations I had long forgotten. The intoxicating thrill of being so close to him was almost overwhelming, and I surrendered to it completely. "Liam!" I gasped between kisses, the heat between us growing stronger, threatening to consume us both. "Shh," he whispered, his lips trailing down my neck, sending shivers through my body. Just enjoy this. I closed my eyes, losing myself in the sensations he was creating. Every kiss, every touch felt like fire awakening something deep within me. My fingers tangled in his hair as he pulled me closer, our bodies fitting together as though we were made for this moment. With each kiss, the world outside faded completely, leaving only the two of us tangled together in the warm water. My heart raced as his hands explored my body, trailing down my arms and back up to my face, holding me tenderly as our kisses grew more passionate, more desperate. God, I've wanted this for so long, he breathed, his lips brushing against mine before deepening the kiss again. Me too, I admitted, feeling vulnerable yet exhilarated by the intensity of the moment. I held on to him tightly, feeling a rush of excitement as his hands wandered, exploring my body in ways that made me feel alive. The boundaries I had set for myself began to blur, and I let myself succumb to the heat of the moment. I also held him intimately, and he took my body, showering in his hands, slowly applying it to my old body as his hands slowly went down towards my hips. The water swirled around us, heightening the sensations. Suddenly, a loud noise broke through the moment, and we both froze. I heard the unmistakable sound of the front door opening, and my heart dropped. "James," I whispered, panic flooding my senses. Liam quickly pulled away, his eyes wide as we both scrambled to get our bearings. "What do we do?" he asked, his voice tense with urgency. "Hide," I hissed, motioning toward the shower curtain. We quickly shifted, both of us ducking behind the shower curtain, our hearts racing as we held our breath, praying James wouldn't come into the bathroom. I could hear the sound of him moving through the house, calling out, "Sophia, are you here?" The tension was unbearable as we stood there huddled together, feeling the heat radiating off each other. My heart raced, not only from fear, but also from the thrill of what had just happened. I could feel Liam's warm breath on my neck, and the adrenaline coursed through my veins. James stepped into the bathroom, and I squeezed my eyes shut, hoping we wouldn't get caught. He began to wash his hands at the sink, completely unaware of the chaos happening behind the curtain. The sound of the running water was like a loud reminder of our precarious situation. After what felt like an eternity, James finished and left the bathroom, the door clicking shut behind him. Liam and I shared a relieved glance, our hearts still pounding from the close call. "Wow, that was close," Liam whispered, his voice still thick with excitement. "I can't believe we just did that," I replied, feeling a rush of adrenaline mixed with desire. My body was still humming from the encounter, and I felt exhilarated by the danger of it all. "Do you want to continue?" he asked, his gaze intense and filled with a longing. I hesitated, knowing the risk involved, but also feeling the undeniable pull to aboard him. "Yes," I whispered, my voice barely audible. We stepped out from behind the curtain, our eyes locked, the tension crackling in the air. I took a step toward him, my heart racing as I reached out, pulling him into another kiss. As our lips met again, I felt a thrill of excitement. This time it was different. It was no longer just a secret. It was a connection, a passion that couldn't be denied. And I was ready to embrace it, no matter the consequences. I could feel the urgency in his movements as he kissed me deeply, and I surrendered to the moment, allowing myself to feel everything I'd been holding back for so long. A few days later, it was late afternoon, and the sun streamed through the kitchen window as I prepared dinner. The scent of sautéed vegetables filled the air, a stark contrast to the lingering excitement from our last encounter. I found myself daydreaming, recalling every touch and kiss, the way Liam had made me feel so alive. As I stirred the pot on the stove, I heard the front door creak open, followed by the familiar sound of Liam's footsteps. My heart skipped a beat as he walked into the kitchen, a playful smile on his face. "Hey, what smells so good?" he asked, leaning against the counter. "Just making some dinner," I replied, trying to keep my composure. "How was your day?" "Long and boring," he said, his eyes glinting with mischief. "But it's better now that I'm here." "Really?" I asked, curiosity piqued. "What do you mean?" He stepped closer, his presence warming the already cozy kitchen. "I mean, being here with you always makes my day better," he said, his voice low and inviting. The way he looked at me sent butterflies fluttering in my stomach, igniting a spark that had me remembering our stolen moments together. I turned back to the stove, trying to appear busy, but my heart raced. "You're just saying that," I replied, attempting to deflect the intensity of his gaze. "No, I'm serious," he insisted, moving even closer until he was just behind me. "I can't stop thinking about you, about us." His words sent a thrill through me, and I couldn't help but steal a glance over my shoulder at him. Liam leaned in, resting his chin on my shoulder, the heat of his body radiating against my back. "Why not? We both want this, don't we?" I closed my eyes for a brief moment, savoring the sensation of his warmth, the intoxicating smell of his cologne, and the undeniable chemistry that crackled in the air between us. "I do want it," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. "But it's dangerous. Sometimes the best things in life come with a little danger," he murmured, his lips brushing against my ear, sending shivers down my spine. "Let's just enjoy it while we can." I took a deep breath, my heart pounding as I considered his words. He was right. I had been longing for this connection, this spark of passion that made me feel alive again. My heart raced with desire, and I felt myself yielding to his allure. "Okay," I whispered, turning around to face him fully. The air thickened with anticipation as I searched his eyes, feeling filled with a mix of hope and longing. "Just for tonight?" A triumphant smile spread across his face, and before I could second-guess myself, he took my hand, leading me out of the kitchen and down the hallway to my bedroom. The thrill of being caught danced at the back of my mind, but the allure of the moment overpowered my hesitation. Once inside my room, he closed the door behind us, locking it softly. The atmosphere shifted instantly, the energy palpable as he turned to face me, his expression fresh and serious, yet hungry. "I've thought about this moment for days," he said, stepping closer, his fingers brushing against my arm. I put my hands inside his pants, trying to turn him on so that he could fulfill my desires and not stop. The distance between us vanished as he wrapped his arms around my waist, pulling me closer until our bodies were pressed together. Without another word, his lips found mine, and I melted into him, feeling a rush of desire that coursed through my veins. My hands roamed inside his shirt as our kisses deepened. The world outside ceased to exist, leaving only the two of us tangled in our passion. Every kiss ignited a fire within me, a desire that had been simmering just beneath the surface. As our kisses grew more fervent, he began to explore my body with his hands, his touch igniting every nerve ending. I gasped against his mouth as he caressed my back, drawing me closer until I could feel his heartbeat against my chest. "God, you're beautiful," he whispered between kisses, his hands finding the hem of my shirt. "I can't get enough of you." "Liam," I breathed, the thrill of his touch sending waves of heat coursing through me. "We really shouldn't. Just let it happen," he urged, his voice husky with desire. "Let's forget about everything else, just for tonight." In one swift motion, he lifted my shirt over my head, his gaze roaming over my body with unabashed admiration. I felt a rush of vulnerability, mixed with excitement as I stood before him, exposed and beautiful in his eyes. With a soft gasp, I felt his lips against my skin, trailing kisses down my collarbone. Each touch ignited a fire within me, my hands roaming over his back, feeling the muscles beneath his shirt, longing to touch every part of him. With that, he captured my lips again, his hands moving to my back to unfasten my bra. The feeling of the strap slipping away sent another rush of heat through me as he pushed the fabric aside, his fingers brushing against my skin. He broke the kiss to look at me, his expression filled with awe. "You're incredible," he murmured, his eyes filled with desire. "I want you," I confessed, feeling bold and reckless in that moment. "Then let's make this unforgettable," he said, his voice thick with longing as he kissed me again, this time more passionately, exploring every inch of my mouth. Our bodies tangled together. The world outside faded away completely. I lost myself in him, our kisses growing more fervent as he pressed me against the wall, his hands exploring my body as if he were discovering every part of me for the first time. Time lost all meaning as we surrendered to our desires, the thrill of being together pushing us both over the edge. I felt alive, desired, and utterly consumed by the connection we shared. Eventually, he pulled back, breathless, and took my hand, leading me to the bed. "Are you ready?" he asked, his eyes dark with longing. "Yes," I whispered, my heart racing with anticipation. We collapsed onto the bed together, our bodies entwined, and the thrill of what we were doing surged through me. It was a dance of passion and desire, a moment that felt both forbidden and exhilarating as we lost ourselves in each other. I knew that this was only the beginning of our passionate adventure, a thrilling secret that would change everything between us, and I was ready to embrace it fully, no matter where it led us. Days turned into weeks, and our encounters became more frequent. Each moment we stole together was like a breath of fresh air, a brief escape from reality. We found solace in the stolen glances, the quiet touches, and the passionate kisses that left us both breathless. One evening, after a particularly thrilling rendezvous, we lay entwined in bed, the soft glow of the moonlight filtering through the curtains. I traced my fingers along Liam's chest, feeling the warmth radiating from him. "What are we doing?" I asked, breaking the comfortable silence. The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. "Living," he replied, his voice steady. For the first time in a long time. I smiled at his answer, but uncertainty gnawed at the edges of my happiness. "But what happens when someone finds out?" I asked, my voice tinged with worry. "Then we deal with it," he said, lifting my chin to meet his gaze. "I'm not afraid of what this is. I want you." His words sent a rush of heat through me, but I couldn't shake the feeling of impending danger. "I want you too," I admitted, feeling the weight of my feelings for him. But this isn't just fun for me. It means something. He nodded, his expression serious. It means something to me too. But we can't let fear hold us back. We deserve to be happy. The sincerity in his voice melted my worries, and I leaned in, capturing his lips in a heated kiss. The intensity of our connection swelled, and I lost myself in the moment, forgetting all my doubts as we kissed. I felt a sense of liberation. We were writing our own story, one filled with passion, desire, and the thrill of the forbidden. In the weeks that followed, we found ways to keep our connection alive amidst the chaos of our daily lives. Each stolen moment felt more precious than the last, and I found myself looking forward to our encounters with a mix of excitement and apprehension. I cherished the thrill of our secret meetings, the way Liam would look at me, his eyes filled with desire and admiration. Each kiss, each touch reignited the fire within me that had long been dormant. But as much as I tried to focus on the joy we shared, the reality of our situation lingered in the back of my mind. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were living on borrowed time, dancing on the edge of a precipice. There were moments when I would catch myself wondering what it would mean if James found out. Would he be angry? Would he understand? Or would he see me as a betrayer, someone who had crossed an unthinkable line? One evening, as I prepared dinner, my mind was racing with thoughts of Liam. I chopped vegetables with a mechanical rhythm, but my thoughts were miles away. Just then, James walked into the kitchen, his presence pulling me back to reality. "Hey, honey," he said, placing a gentle kiss on my cheek. "What's for dinner?" "Just some pasta and salad," I replied, forcing a smile as he settled into the kitchen. The comfortable banter between us resumed, but I could feel a growing distance. My heart was heavy with secrets, and it felt like I was wearing a mask, pretending everything was normal while a storm brewed beneath the surface. After dinner, I excused myself, claiming I was tired, and retreated to my room. I sat on the edge of the bed, my thoughts racing. I couldn't help but replay the moments Liam and I had shared in my mind. His touch, his kiss, the way he made me feel alive. I missed him already. Just then, my phone buzzed with a message. It was from Liam. "Can we meet tonight?" it read. My heart raced at the thought. The thrill of seeing him again, of feeling that electric connection, was too tempting to resist. I quickly replied, "Yes, I'll be waiting." As the night wore on, the anticipation built within me. I heard James move around the house, watching TV in the living room, completely unaware of the plans unfolding behind closed doors. When the clock struck 10, I felt my heart race as I heard a soft knock on my bedroom door. "Sophia." Liam's voice was barely above a whisper. I opened the door to find him standing there, looking every bit as handsome as I remembered. The moment our eyes met, the tension in the air crackled with energy. Without a word, I pulled him inside and closed the door, shutting out the world. "What if James sees you?" I whispered, my voice laced with urgency. "He won't," he assured me, stepping closer. The warmth of his body radiated towards me, and I could feel the magnetic pull between us. "I just needed to see you." Before I could respond, he closed the distance, capturing my lips in a passionate kiss. The world outside faded away as I melted into him, feeling the familiar rush of desire wash over me. Our kisses grew more urgent, and I could feel the weight of everything else slip away as we stumbled toward the bed. I could hardly think straight. The thrill of secrecy and the intoxicating warmth of his body overwhelmed my senses. We tumbled onto the bed, lost in a whirlwind of kisses and touches. I felt alive, exhilarated, and utterly consumed by the connection we shared. But just as quickly as the passion ignited, a shadow of doubt flickered at the edge of my mind. What if this was all a mistake? I thought. What if I was jeopardizing everything I had built with James? Yet in that moment, none of it mattered. I wanted to be here with Liam, living in this intoxicating reality where I felt desired and alive. Hours passed, and we lay entwined in each other's arms, the weight of the world outside forgotten. I knew I should be thinking about the consequences, about the life I had with James, but in Liam's embrace, everything felt perfect. The intimacy we shared was unlike anything I'd experienced in years. But eventually, the reality of the situation began to seep in, and I found myself feeling a pang of guilt. "Liam," I said softly, breaking the comfortable silence. "What are we doing?" He looked down at me, his expression serious. "We're living, Sophia. We're embracing something beautiful. Yes, but it's complicated. What happens if James finds out?" I asked, my voice trembling slightly. "We deal with it together," he replied firmly, as if that would somehow make everything okay. "I'm not afraid of what this is. I want you." I wanted to believe him. I wanted to think that we could navigate this storm together, but doubt lingered in my heart. "But I can't just walk away from my life with James. He deserves better," I said, feeling tears prick at the corners of my eyes. "Do you love him?" Liam asked gently. The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. "I care about him," I admitted. "But it's not the same. I haven't felt this way in a long time." "Then maybe it's time to face what you truly want," he said softly. "You deserve to be happy." In that moment, I realized how right he was. I had been so focused on the consequences that I had neglected my own happiness. As I looked into Liam's eyes, I saw not only desire, but also a reflection of what I had been missing in my life. "I want this," I said finally, feeling a surge of courage. "I want you." His eyes sparkled with a mix of joy and relief. "Then let's not waste any more time," he said, pulling me closer as our lips met once again. With each kiss, we promised ourselves to embrace this beautiful, complicated connection. I knew the road ahead would not be easy, and there would be challenges to face. But in that moment, with Liam by my side, I felt ready to take on the world, whatever awaited us. I was determined to cherish every moment and follow my heart.